Hi everyone, welcome back. I hope you're all doing great. So in this video, we are going to learn about assertions in Playwright. Okay. So first, let us understand what an assertion is. Okay. So an assertion is a way to verify that our application is behaving as expected. Okay. I'll repeat this once again. An assertion is a way to verify that our application is behaving as expected. So without assertion, our test can perform actions like clicking or typing, but it won't actually validate anything. Okay. Example, if you click on a login button and you expect a success message, here assertion is what checks that success message. Okay. Okay. So in Playwright, we usually write the validation using expect API. Okay, this is important. Okay. Okay. So another important concept here is, so the assertions are broadly understood in two ways. One is auto-waiting assertions and non-auto-waiting assertions. Okay. So auto-waiting assertions means here playwright is what responsible for verifying the condition. Okay, I'll repeat once again. In auto-waiting assertions, playwright is responsible for verifying the condition, so it automatically waits and keeps retrying until the expected condition is met. Okay, example, um, excuse me. So assertions like to have text, to be visible, and to be checked, these are all auto waiting assertions. Okay. Okay. So on the other hand, non-auto waiting assertion means, so here, so we manually fetch a value from the application and store it in a variable and then perform assertion ourselves. So in this case, playwright does not wait or retry. Okay. Usually, sometimes we fetch the application, sorry, we fetch the value from the application using text content method or input value method, correct, and we store that value in some variable and we apply assertion on that. Okay, in that case playwright will not wait or retry. Okay, so these are called non-auto waiting assertions. Okay. Okay, I hope this is clear. Okay, because this is very important. Okay, so the key difference is, if the playwright is handling the verification, it auto waits. Okay, so here, like to have text to be visible, so here playwright is handling the verification. Okay, so if we extract the value and verify it ourselves, like using these two method, if we extract the value and verify it ourselves, in this case playwright will not wait. Okay, so this is non-auto wait. Okay. Okay, so I hope this concept is clear. Okay, so now let's look at some most commonly used assertions in playwright. Okay, so that we will use in our day-to-day automation scripts. Okay, so I've made a list. So these are some of the most commonly used assertions. Okay, so let us see one by one. Okay, so first one is to be. Okay, so we use this to be to check the exact equality between two values. Okay, so it compares primitive values like number strings or booleans. Okay, so example, we fetch the value like this. Okay, and so here we'll say expect this price to be 500. Okay, so when you want to check the exact equality, okay, so here the price is what you're fetching from the application and you're comparing it with 500. Okay, so if the price is equal to this 500, then this test is pass. Okay, so next is to equal. So this is used to compare objects and arrays. This is important. Okay, so to be used to compare numbers or strings and booleans. Okay, to equal is to compare objects. Okay, so objects or arrays. Example, for example, there is a product name, or wherever when you extract some values, we will get the list of values. Okay, so for example, if you use all text content methods, so you will fetch more than one values, correct. Example, product value, and that will be more than one. And if you want to compare, we'll use like this, to equal. Okay, so expect these items to equal iPhone, Samsung, or OnePlus. Okay, so what we understand, to equal is to compare objects and arrays. Okay. Okay, so here next is to strict equal. Okay, so this is similar to equals, but it is more strict. Okay, I hope this is clear. Okay, so to be is to compare values like number strings, to equal is to compare objects. Okay, like this. So whenever you want to compare list of items or list of names, in that case go for to equal. Okay, next is number assertions. Okay, first one is to be greater than. Okay, it is used to check if the value is greater than another value. Like you're fetching the value from the application and you're if you want to compare whether the value is greater than 100 or greater than any number, then go for to be greater than. Okay, so here I'm using number is to convert this price into number. Okay, so that it will compare properly, we will not get any error. So next is to be greater than or equal. This is self-explanatory, to check if the value is greater than or equal to another value. Hmm. Next is to be less than. Okay, to check if the value is lesser than another value. So use this to be less than. Okay, for everything we need to fetch the value from the application, then compare it with this value. Okay, next to be less than or equal, then to be close to. Okay, so here there is no exact value. So here you're fetching the value from the application, some number, and you're saying this total to be close to 99.2. Okay, so this 2 is decimal. Okay, so here if it is 999, so okay, so if it is like this, it will take only two digits. Okay, so this is what this 2 is. Okay. Okay, next is truthiness. This is important. Okay, so these two are these some of them are truthiness related assertions. Okay, so this is important. So here, so when you want to use truthiness is so when you want to validate or check if the value exists. Okay, if the value exists or not. Here we are not validating what is inside that value. Okay, sorry, what is inside that variable. Here what we are checking is when we fetch some value, what we are checking is some value should be present in that. Okay, here we are not validating what is present in that. Okay, when you want to validate some value is present, in that case go for truthiness assertion. Okay, so first one is to be truthy. Okay, so this is used to check if the value is not empty, null, undefined, zero, or not a number. Okay, so here, so use when you want to confirm some data is present. Okay, so some data is present. Okay, here you are not validating what is that present. Okay, whether you are not validating whether that is a number, text, or specific number or text. Okay, so you want to validate some text is present. Okay, in that case expect this message to be truthy, so it means there is some value present in that. Okay. Okay, next to be falsy. So in this case you know that or you're not expecting any value when you fetch that, you know uh, when you fetch that, any value from that locator, you're not expecting anything. Okay, you're expecting it should be null. Okay, in that case go for to be falsy. Expect error to be falsy. Okay, so you're expecting there is no error. Okay, next is to be null. Okay, so to be null is some values are optional and you expect that should be null. Okay, so in that case use to be null. Okay, so you're expecting extracting some value from the application, and this is how it looks. Name, middle name is null. Okay, and you expect that it should be null. In that case use you know expect user, this the name user, middle name to be null. Okay. Okay, so sometimes some application return null for optional fields. Okay, next is we use to be null. Okay, so to verify that the value is intentionally empty. Okay, so here we know that this is null and we know and we expect that it should be null, so use to be null. Okay. Okay, next is to be none. So none is not a number. Okay, so this one is when we when we fetch some value, so sometimes it is NA, so like this. Okay, sometimes we will expect some value like some number. Okay, so we expect some number, and some cases the values it won't, there won't be any number present, but it is like NA. correct? So in that case, if you're expecting this, so we will use to be nan. Okay, so it is like we're expecting this is not a number. Okay. Okay. Next is to contain. So it is used to check if the string or array contains specific value. Okay, specific value, and also it checks partial text. Okay, it will not check the exact match. So here we are fetching some value, and here success. Okay, so here if it is, you know, login successful or successfully, here it checks only the success message. Okay. Okay, so this is also same, all text contents. Next is to contain equal. Okay, this checks array or objects array. Okay, so this checks some values like this. Okay, if you're comparing a text, then go for to contain. So sorry, yeah, to contain. And if you're checking, if array, array contains objects, then use to contains equal. Okay, so this is what we are fetching from the application, and we are comparing it with these values. Okay. Okay, and remember, so this will work only with arrays of objects. Okay, so when we want to match the full object values. Okay. Okay, next, to have length. Okay, so we use this method to check the number of items in an array or elements, or you know if you're expecting that, when we extract that value, the numbers are 3 or 10, so use dot length. Okay, so here to check the number of items. Okay, so in an array. Okay, so number of items is, it can be price or names or anything. So to have length is used to validate the count of elements or data. Okay. Okay, next is locator assertions. So element state. Okay, so these are to check the state of the element. First one is to be visible. Okay, so it is to check the element is visible on UI. Okay, example, login button, you want to validate that is present. Okay, so use to be visible. Okay, so here I'm not fetching any value from the application. This is auto-wait. Okay, so to be hidden. So here, so I'm expecting some element should not be visible on the page, so in that case use to be hidden. Next, to be enabled, like if um like you check, if you, when you select some options from the, like pagination, so next is enabled, correct? So in that case use this to be enabled. Okay, or in some cases, like when you enter username and password, then the submit button will be enabled. Okay, so in that case use to be enabled. Okay, and to be disabled is the opposite of to be enabled. Next, to be checked. Okay, it is used with checkbox and radio button. When you check the checkbox or radio button and you validate that is checked. So in that case, use to be checked. Next, to be editable. Okay, so before entering the value, if you want to check whether I can edit or enter the value in the input field, so use to be editable. Okay, then to be focused. Okay, so it is used to check the element is currently focused. Then to be empty. Okay, it used to check the element has no text or value. Okay, so usually with the will use this with text box or text area. Next, to be attached. So this we use to check the element is present in the DOM. Okay. Next, to be in the viewport. Okay, so this is also important. So when we want to check some element is present or visible within the viewport. Okay, so example, footer, usually we'll check this. Then these assertions are used to validate the element state in UI. So there was assertions like visibility, enablement, selection, or presence. Next is to have text. Okay, so I'm fetching some value and I'm expecting that value is login successful. In that case, use to have text. Then to contain text, so this is to validate the partial message. Then to have count. Okay, so like you're fetching some value, a count, and you want to validate the count should be 3 or 10. Sorry. Then to have attribute, this is important. Okay, so when you want to check some attribute value, okay, so this is the locator, and that locate, like this is id, and you're expecting this id should have the attribute type, and the value is email. Then to have class, this is also important. So when you want to check something, after enabling or disabling something, you know like active, disable, or enable, these things get activated or disabled based on the action. Okay, so like I'll take the same pagination example. Okay, so I'll filter, and by default that previous button will be disabled. Okay, so in that case, to have class disabled, that locator will have the class